What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about should you play hard to get in order to keep a guy long term. Now, the reason I'm bringing up this, or I'm wanting to make this video is I think women want a little more detail on what it looks like or what to do at least, because there is a wide spectrum on how to act. There's the woman over here or she does too much too soon, goes along with everything, gives them too many chances, too needy, clingy, whatever it is. And then there's everything in between. And then the woman over here, which is the cold-hearted woman. I'm pulling back. I'm not initiating. I'm not doing anything. And I think that's going to work. So what should you do? What does it look like? To get right into it, I don't think you should play hard to get, despite what my videos might say or convey at least. I'm not a big fan of hard to get. I know other dating coaches teach it. I'm not a fan of it. Overall, I think there is a time and place for it, but the reason I don't like it is, number one, I think a lot of women, when I say a lot of women, 99% of you watching this don't know how to play hard to get. Number one. Number two, and I know this for a fact, you are not reading the room. You are not reading the context. You are not reading the frame correctly. I think a lot of you think that the guy likes you more than he actually does. And I don't think you guys know what triggers a man to move forward or to move back. You get what I'm saying? There's just too many variables. I'm not saying men can't like you. There's just so many variables to take into consideration to play the game correctly. And I think for a lot of you, that is just too much. It's not even needed. It's not even needed. I'm a big fan of just going more the simpler route, which is reciprocity, meaning if a guy does something for you, okay, meaning he should be making the dates in the ideal world, perfect world, he should be making the dates. There should be concrete details, time, place, or place, location, date, whatever. I think he should be initiating a majority of the calls. I think whatever, paying for them, all that type of stuff, and then after he does that several times, I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman kind of balancing the ratio. It should always be a little bit in his, or he should always be doing a little bit more, like 70-30, 60-40. But a man does not like, ladies, you have to think of it like this. It's investment. And I want to pay off, or I want to get a payoff of my investment. If a guy is putting his resources into you and you're being a cold bitch, there's nothing, no offense, ladies, I'm going to lose subscribers saying this. There's nothing special about you in the beginning where he's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to deal with this. No, he's not. No, he's not. Especially if you've only been talking for a couple months. And if you haven't even been talking that, there's really nothing that you have that another woman can offer him, right? So instead, I like reciprocity, which is, again, a guy doing something and then you kind of doing something in return, but at a lower intensity or a lower effort. So for example, there's nothing wrong with a guy making the first date, the second date, and then the third date, you're like, hey, I got this, right? And you pay for it. There's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of women are like, well, I want to be treated like a princess. That's not right. That's not, again, you have to give off a vibe that you work really well, both of you work really well in a team setting. If you and I are going on 6 or 7 dates and you're not even offering to pay, you don't think hey, ladies, you don't think a guy is keeping tabs of that? Of course he is. Of course he is. You think you guys are going to talk for 6, 7 weeks and you're never initiating? He's the one always initiating? A guy's going to keep tabs of that. Humans love validation. Love validation. You love waking up and his texts pop up on your phone. You love when, he has an hour break and he decides to text you and nobody else. You love when he gets home and, after work and the first thing he does is message you and asks about your day. You love when he decides to make a date for the weekend with you and give you his weekend. Like, people love that shit. Men are no different. Men want the validation. What I'm getting at, I guess a good way to put it, instead of saying reciprocal reciprocity, is a man, women do not like this, dating is transactional. A man is going to invest in a woman. I think he should get something in return. Not that anyone should feel obligated, not that he's entitled to it. I just think it's courteous to do so. If I'm investing in you consistently, I think a woman should feel okay reaching out to a guy. I think a woman should feel okay paying for a date here and there, or initiating the date, or doing something nice, especially when he's doing a lot of the load. Like I said, 70% of it. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Men want that validation. Men want to feel loved. Despite what you all think, men want to feel loved. And if a guy is doing all this stuff, and then you do this, and he pulls away, it's not because you did it. Women will say, as soon as I show interest, a guy starts to pull away. It's not because you showed interest. You're talking to an emotionally unavailable man who doesn't know what he wants, and by him doing all these things, and then you doing something in return, and then again, it's just context. It just builds up, and he realizes, I can't give you what you want. That is not because you reciprocated something. That is because you did not do your, what I call your background check, to see if the guy is an emotionally available man who wants a relationship. Ladies, do not play hard to get. You do not play it correctly. You do not know when and when not to play it. You don't know the variables to look at. It's just reciprocity. If a guy, I always say, treat him like a fucking dog. I hope guys aren't watching this, but treat him like a dog. If he does good, reward him, right? Doesn't mean every time a dog does well, you're going to give it a big ass steak. Give it a fucking treat, whatever, And then once in a while, give him something nice. That's how it should look. But he has to invest in you. He has to. It's almost like going back to the dog thing, like Pavlov's, classical conditioning. Like, you want a guy to feel good courting you. You do not want to be one of these women. Trust me, ladies, women will come to me and say this stuff where, oh, he should chase me. No, he fucking shouldn't. No, he shouldn't. There's nothing special about you. Why would he chase you? Whatever you can offer, he can get it from someone else. The difference is the chemistry you guys have, the connection, the rapport, the depth, the understanding, like that stuff. And you're not going to, and trust me, he's not going to feel that from you if you're not putting anything out there for him to grab, for him to gain. That's just what it is, ladies. I always say dating is transactional, love is sacrificial. You'll make a man will start sacrificing things, right? When you are his girlfriend, when you guys are in love. Before that, it's transactional. It just is. Women don't like it, but it's transactional, okay? So with that being said, ladies, sorry it's a little all over the place. If you are interested in getting a session with me and understanding this more, or your situation, you want to break it down and on what to do, whatever, link is down in the description. Ladies, I love you all. Take care and peace.